Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on this video. My name is Eric Connor and I am a primary therapist at Inside Out Living. We are a counseling practice with offices in downtown Chicago and also in Evanston, Illinois.
And my name is Steve Lackey. I'm co-founder and partner of Inside Out Living.
At Inside Out Living, one of our specialties here is treating sex addiction. And or even more so than sex addiction, let's say sexually compulsive behaviors. And people often wonder, what is that about? We get questions a lot about asking, what is sex addiction? Is this real? Or we read about what's going on in the news, or with, I think in the more recent cases, Steve, with Tiger Woods and some senators, political figures. And so people, rightfully so, are wondering, is this really an addiction? So, Steve, tell me, is this an actual addiction, sex addiction?
Absolutely, Eric. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt and through research that this is a diagnosable condition. And we notice that because people come in, when they present, they may present with one specific issue that's showing up. But as we navigate deep into the history, we find out that there may have been some, or may be currently some behaviors that are a little off balance or inappropriate, and that could be anything from visiting prostitutes or going to massage parlors and or buying a ton of porn or spending a lot of time on the internet viewing pornography, and it interferes with the lifestyle and the life of persons. So these are just some of the characteristics and behaviors that let us know that this is definitely a disease.
Okay, so if you know, sometimes guys come up to me, or women can even approach me about using chat rooms, or guys will say that they use pornography every so often. Does that constitute an addiction, or what's the difference between an addiction and casual use?
Well, that distinction, Eric, has more to do with the chemical change in the brain over time. And what research suggests is that the brain does change, and we'll talk a lot more about that in future videos. As persons are viewing pornography and are visiting porn sites or prostitutes or massage parlors, what's actually happening is it's changing the actual chemistry in the brain. It really is. And so again, we'll talk more about this in future videos, but right now we just wanted to be a little general and bring this to our viewing audience that this is a real problem.
Absolutely. So, to summarize, sex addiction, it is a real thing. It is a real addiction. And like all addictions, it could start with infrequent use. But if it's an addiction, you'll find that over time, a tolerance develops. You'll need to act out more frequently, maybe in more intense ways. If you've ever told yourself you're not going to look at pornography or go to a chat room or do something that you know is sexually maybe inappropriate, or something that you said that you don't want to do but you still do it, those are all signs that maybe something is going on inside. So the telltale signs are very similar to any other, and we're excited to kind of talk more about this. Yes. But in a very real way, there's a lot going on out there, and there's a lot being done, and no one's really talking about it. So we're excited to talk more in future videos, and we invite you to just check back to this channel periodically. And I think next video we're going to talk about the actual sex addiction cycle. There's a very common cycle that people go through that leads to acting out, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
And a little bit more about the neurochemistry behind that cycle that you're mentioning as well. So thank you.
Great. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next time.